Have you ever wondered why your cats suddenly perk up at the sound of the word dinner, but completely ignore you when you tell them to get down from the table? Well, there's a scientific explanation for what your cats actually understand, and why sometimes they choose to ignore you. Today we're diving deep into feline psychology to reveal 5 unique words your cats actually understand. And the third one is a total game changer. But before we get to the magic words, let's clear something up. Do cats actually understand words the same way dogs do? According to a study conducted in 2023 by Oxford University, cats can recognize and differentiate human words, but they process them in completely unique ways. Unlike dogs, which were domesticated to follow human commands, cats evolved as independent predators and don't rely on us socially in the same way. But that doesn't mean they don't understand anything. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Imagine dogs as that eager student who's always raising their hand in class, while cats are like that brilliant kid sitting in the corner, pretending not to listen, but actually calculating everything. A British researcher specializing in feline cognition discovered that cats recognize specific vocabulary even when spoken by complete strangers. In fact, cats not only recognize certain words, but they can also understand human emotions behind those words. And there's more, they associate specific vocabulary with memories, experiences, and future expectations. So yes, your cats know a lot more than you might think. Unlike dogs, which respond to verbal praise and commands, cats link words to personal benefit. If a word is consistently connected to something they value, like food territory or comfort, your cats will remember that. But since cats don't seek social approval like dogs do, they might understand but choose not to respond, as obviously. Now let's get into the 5 unique words your cats actually understand. Word number 1, sorry. This might surprise you, but cats actually understand the word sorry. They grasp apologies better than we realize. But here's the catch. They evaluate whether your apology is genuine. That's because they have a completely different emotional processing system than ours. Cats analyze this through what scientists call emotional authenticity detection, as advanced as a therapist's ability to spot fake emotions. While dogs have been bred over thousands of years to forgive quickly, cats are still essentially wild animals who remember everything. Why do cats care about apologies? They know, unlike dogs, which accept any attention, cats perform an emotional cost-benefit analysis of your sincerity. If your apology feels fake or dismissive, they'll mentally file that information away. They prioritize genuine remorse over empty words. Here's what happens in your cat's brain when you say, sorry first. They analyze your vocal tone. Yes, they definitely know if you mean it. Then they observe your body language and facial expressions, finally. And here's the most impressive part. They decide whether to grant you forgiveness based on past patterns. Want to see this in action? Notice how cats often approach you slowly after a genuine apology that's not coincidence. It's literally their brain processing your emotional state. And here's a very recent finding. A 2024 study from Cambridge University found that cats who regularly received genuine apologies from their owners showed increased bonding behaviors. Those little judges aren't being difficult. They're showing off just how emotionally intelligent they are. Want to make sorry more effective? Instead of just saying sorry, use a gentle tone and follow up with their favorite form of affection, like slow blinking or soft petting if they allow it. Think of it this way. Your cats understand sorry, but they're waiting for you to prove you mean it. In fact, cats respond best to apologies combined with respectful distance, giving them space to decide when to reconnect. Word number 2, maybe. This one's fascinating, but it's also backed by science. Your cats understand uncertainty in human speech. A study published in the journal Animal Cognition tested how cats react to definitive statements versus uncertain ones. The researchers found that when humans express doubt or uncertainty, cats increase their attention-seeking behaviors by over 200%. Cats interpret maybe as opportunity, but whether or not they act depends on what they think they can gain. Unlike dogs, which are confused by mixed messages, cats see uncertainty as a green light to negotiate. Try saying maybe in different contexts, then watch how your cats respond to definitive no's versus uncertain maybes. Most cats increase their persistence when they detect hesitation in your voice, the kind of tactical intelligence that would make a lawyer proud. So if you're trying to establish boundaries, you might want to sound more decisive. Word number 3, home. Now let's talk about the word that every cat owner uses daily but never realizes its impact: home. And here's something incredible. Researchers have found that cats process this word very differently from any other location-based vocabulary. While dogs understand home as where the pack lives, cats need to emotionally connect with the concept of territory and safety. It's like they're little real estate agents who want to know their property boundaries. Dr. James Mitchell from Edinburgh University discovered something amazing. Cats can distinguish between temporary locations and permanent home with 90% accuracy. But here's the catch. It all depends on how consistently you've used that word in relation to their actual territory. Think about it. When do you usually say home to your cats? If you're like most people, it's probably when you're returning from somewhere or when you're trying to establish routine. That's exactly why your cats might seem to understand your schedule better than you do. Now, here's a revolutionary discovery. Cats who heard the word home regularly during positive experiences showed what researchers call territorial confidence behaviors. They became more relaxed, more social, and more willing to explore within their established boundaries. The secret is emotional association and positive reinforcement. And here's the coolest part. Over time, cats develop what scientists call environmental anticipation. They start preparing for your return or settling into routines simply because they've learned that home means safety and predictability. Word number 4, mine. This one's deeply territorial because in the end, our cats might understand ownership concepts better than we think. In 2024, researchers at Animal Behavior Institute made a discovery that surprised the world of feline psychology. They found that cats actually comprehend possessive language and respond differently to items described as mine versus yours. But the really interesting part is that the study showed cats are highly attuned to ownership claims in our voices. When we say that's mine or my favorite, they're not just hearing the words, they pick up on our protective tone, our body language, and even small changes in how we handle objects. The study discovered something extraordinary. Cats that consistently heard ownership language from their guardians developed stronger respect for personal boundaries and showed greater understanding of household rules. It's as if every "that's mine" was actually a lesson in territory management. Think of it this way: when you establish ownership with your cats, you're not just claiming objects, you're creating what scientists call a territorial hierarchy. Your cats do something with your stuff. You say "that's mine" in that firm voice we all use, and they learn that respecting your possessions actually strengthens the household structure. Try establishing clear ownership language with your cats, always using the same tone of voice when discussing your belongings. Consistent ownership communication helps create mutual respect between you and your cats throughout your shared space. And here's something you might not expect. Cats are so attuned to possessive language that they can sense the difference between when you're genuinely protective of something versus when you're just being casual about boundaries. But remember, every cat is unique, and your cat might have learned special possession rules that only the two of you understand. Word number 5, outside. If your cats seem to develop supernatural awareness whenever you mention outside or walk, it's not just your imagination. Researchers have found that cats associate location words with freedom, adventure, and environmental changes. Words like outside garden, or even car trigger complex emotional responses. Cats learn location words through environmental conditioning. Every time you say outside and then open a door or window, your cat's brain creates a link between the word and the possibility of expanded territory. They can even recognize location words in different contexts. And some cats learn to distinguish between good outside experiences, like supervised garden time, versus concerning ones like vet trips. Try saying outside in different situations and see if your cats react differently. Some cats get excited thinking about exploration, while others become anxious remembering negative experiences. The key is understanding that cats process location vocabulary through their territorial instincts and survival mechanisms